Our thoughts shape our lives. Every decision, every action, and every emotion begins with a single idea. In As a Man Thinketh, James Allen takes us on a quiet yet powerful journey into the world of the mind, a place where thoughts create character, and character creates destiny. This timeless book reminds us that we are not victims of chance, but architects of our own reality. Allen's message is simple but profound: as you think, so you become. Whether your thoughts are noble or negative, they mold your world accordingly. The beauty of this truth is that it gives us complete control over our future, because when you master your thoughts, you master your life. So, as you listen to this audiobook, take a deep breath and reflect. Every chapter you'll hear is a mirror, one that shows how powerful your inner world truly is. Let's begin this journey of self-mastery, one thought at a time. And before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us for more inspiring audiobooks that can help transform your mind and your life. Chapter 1: Thought and Character. Every person carries within their mind a garden of thoughts. Some thoughts grow like beautiful flowers, while others spread like weeds. The kind of seeds we plant, our daily thoughts, shape the garden of our character. A kind person plants seeds of kindness, while an angry person feeds on thoughts of resentment. Over time, these small thoughts grow into habits, and habits form the very foundation of who we are. Our mind is like a mirror that reflects what we think most often. If we fill it with love, patience, and hope, our life begins to shine with those same qualities. But if we allow fear, jealousy, or doubt to take root, they slowly darken our character. In truth, no one becomes wise, calm, or good by accident. It all begins with the quiet power of thought. A man does not become honest simply by wishing to be so. He becomes honest when he begins to think honestly. Likewise, a selfish person becomes generous only when he replaces thoughts of taking with thoughts of giving. Every action we take is born first in the mind, just as every building begins as an idea before it becomes stone. We often blame others for our behavior, but our character is not something that happens to us, it is something we build, moment by moment, through the thoughts we choose to entertain. Just as a sculptor shapes a statue by removing excess stone, we shape our character by removing harmful thoughts and keeping the noble ones. When we understand this, we begin to see that life is not a series of accidents. We are the authors of our own story, and the pen is our thinking mind. What we think, we become. If our thoughts are pure and steady, our life will reflect peace and confidence. If our thoughts are restless and dark, our path will feel heavy and unclear. So, the secret to a strong and noble character is simple but powerful: guard your thoughts. Let your mind dwell on truth, kindness, and purpose. Over time, these thoughts will bloom into actions, and those actions will form the person you were always meant to become. Chapter 2: Effect of Thought on Circumstances. Our outer life is a reflection of our inner world. The circumstances we face, whether they are joyful or painful, are not random events. They are shaped, little by little, by the thoughts we have carried within us. Just as a shadow follows the body, our circumstances follow our thinking. A mind filled with hope, gratitude, and courage attracts opportunities, while a mind clouded with doubt, fear, or anger often creates struggle and confusion. When we realize this truth, life begins to look different. Instead of blaming others or luck for our problems, we start to see how our thoughts have played a part. Every decision we make is guided by what we believe and imagine in our minds. If we constantly think that life is unfair, we will find proof of it everywhere. But if we believe that life is full of lessons and growth, even our challenges become steps toward something better. Many people wait for their circumstances to change before changing their thoughts, but the real power works in the opposite direction. Change your thinking first, and your circumstances will slowly begin to shift. A person who starts to think positively about their work, for example, often finds new energy, new ideas, and eventually, new success. The world outside begins to match the world inside. This doesn't mean we can control everything around us, but we can always control how we respond. Two people may face the same difficulty, yet one grows stronger while the other gives up. The difference lies in their thinking. Thoughts of courage and faith build inner strength, thoughts of fear and despair weaken it. Life is not always easy, but our mindset decides whether we rise or fall. Taking responsibility for our thoughts is the beginning of true freedom. When we stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will try," the path before us changes. Our thoughts open doors that were once invisible. Even small shifts in thinking can bring powerful results over time. So, if your life feels heavy or stuck, look within, not around. What kind of thoughts are you planting each day? Replace worry with gratitude, anger with understanding, and fear with faith. In time, your circumstances will begin to reflect the calm, strong, and hopeful mind you have created within yourself. Chapter 3: Effect of Thought on Health and the Body. The mind and body are deeply connected, more than most people realize. What we think and feel inside quietly shapes the condition of our physical health. When the mind is filled with calm, kindness, and confidence, the body often reflects that peace through strength and balance. But when we allow worry, anger, or fear to stay in our thoughts, the body reacts with tension, fatigue, and even illness. Our thoughts are not just invisible whispers, they are the silent architects of our well-being. Every emotion we experience sends signals throughout the body. A cheerful thought can relax our muscles and slow our heartbeat, while a stressful thought can tighten our chest and quicken our pulse. This is why people who constantly think about problems often feel drained or sick, while those who keep a positive and hopeful attitude tend to recover faster and feel stronger. The body listens carefully to the language of the mind, it believes every word we think. When we live with negative thoughts, the body is placed under constant pressure. Fear releases chemicals that prepare us for danger, but if fear is constant, the body never gets to rest. Over time, this can weaken the immune system and lead to physical exhaustion. On the other hand, thoughts of peace and gratitude help the body restore itself. They act like a gentle medicine that flows from within, healing us naturally. It is not about ignoring pain or pretending to be happy all the time. Rather, it's about training the mind to focus on what gives strength instead of what takes it away. When we choose to think calmly in stressful situations, our body remains balanced. When we forgive instead of holding on to anger, our heart feels lighter and healthier. Every positive thought becomes a small act of healing. Many ancient teachings and modern studies agree on one truth: a peaceful mind creates a healthy body. A person who begins the day with thoughts of hope and kindness is more likely to walk with energy and smile with ease. This harmony between thought and body makes life smoother and more joyful. So, care for your mind as you care for your body. Feed it with uplifting ideas, kind reflections, and gratitude for the present moment. The more peace you grow in your thoughts, the more your body will thank you, with strength, vitality, and lasting health. Chapter 4: Thought and Purpose. Every great achievement begins with a clear purpose. Without purpose, our thoughts wander like a ship without a compass, moving but not arriving anywhere. Purpose gives direction to our energy and meaning to our actions. It transforms ordinary effort into powerful progress. When a person knows what they truly want, every thought begins to align with that goal, guiding them forward like a steady light in the dark. A mind without purpose is easily distracted. It jumps from one idea to another, chasing comfort instead of growth. But when we set a clear purpose, our thoughts become focused and sharp. We begin to see opportunities that others overlook, and obstacles no longer feel like barriers, they become part of the path. Purpose turns confusion into clarity, and hesitation into determination. Having a purpose does not mean we must aim for something grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as becoming a better version of ourselves, helping others, or mastering a skill. What matters is that it feels meaningful to us. When our thoughts revolve around a genuine purpose, we find the motivation to keep moving even during difficult times. Every small effort becomes a step toward something bigger. Our thoughts and purpose work together like partners. Thoughts provide the vision, and purpose gives that vision strength and direction. If thoughts are the seeds, purpose is the soil that allows them to grow. Without purpose, even good thoughts fade quickly. But when we have a strong purpose, even small thoughts can turn into life-changing actions. When we face challenges, purpose becomes our anchor. It reminds us why we started and keeps our mind steady when doubt tries to take over. People who live with purpose are rarely defeated by failure. They learn, adjust, and continue. Their thoughts are guided by a sense of why, and that why makes them unstoppable. So take a moment to ask yourself, what do I truly want from my life? Once you know the answer, let every thought and action serve that purpose. With time, you'll notice how your mind becomes calmer, your energy stronger, and your life more meaningful. A person who lives with purpose not only achieves more, but also lives with peace, clarity, and fulfillment. Chapter 5: The Thought Factor in Achievement. Every achievement in life begins as a simple thought. Before a building rises, it exists first in the architect's mind. Before a masterpiece is painted, it lives in the artist's imagination. The same is true for our lives. What we think, we eventually create. Thoughts are invisible forces shaping the visible world around us. When we focus our minds on clear, positive, and purposeful ideas, those thoughts slowly take form and become real achievements. The power of thought lies in focus. A scattered mind produces scattered results, but a focused mind turns dreams into actions. When you train your thoughts toward a single goal and refuse to let doubt or distraction take control, you begin to move with direction and confidence. Achievement doesn't come from luck, it comes from consistent, focused thinking that guides every decision and effort toward a desired result. However, powerful thoughts alone are not enough. They must be combined with perseverance. Every great achiever has faced moments of failure and frustration, but what kept them going was the strength of their thoughts. A person who believes deeply in their vision does not give up when things get hard. They see obstacles as tests, not endings. Persistent, disciplined thinking keeps the mind strong, even when the body feels tired. To achieve something meaningful, your thoughts must be organized. Confusion leads to hesitation, and hesitation weakens progress. When you plan your steps and think with clarity, your path becomes simpler. Organized thought allows you to see which actions matter most and which can be ignored. Each small success builds confidence and reinforces the belief that your thoughts truly shape your reality. Achievement also requires patience. Just like seeds take time to grow, your thoughts need time to turn into results. Impatience often leads to giving up too soon, right before success appears. But when you trust the process and keep your mind steady, progress quietly unfolds. Every day that you think and act in alignment with your goal, you are building the foundation for success, even if you can't yet see it. In the end, the secret to achievement is simple but powerful: think clearly, persist patiently, and act consistently. Your mind is your greatest tool, and your thoughts are the blueprint of your future. Guard them, strengthen them, and direct them wisely. Over time, you will see that what once lived only in your imagination has become a reality shaped by the strength of your thoughts. Before we continue the book, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Your support helps us bring you more amazing audiobooks every week. Chapter 6: Visions and Ideals. Every great life begins with a vision. A vision is more than a dream, it is a clear picture of what could be, fueled by belief and purpose. It gives direction to your thoughts and energy to your actions. Without vision, life feels empty and uncertain. But when you hold a powerful image of your ideal future in your mind, every day begins to have meaning. You no longer wander, you move forward with intention. Visions act like a compass for the soul. They remind you of where you are going, even when life feels difficult. When you face challenges, your vision whispers, "Keep going." It keeps your spirit alive when circumstances seem dark. The stronger your vision, the easier it becomes to rise above fear and doubt. People who achieve great things do not simply work harder, they dream clearer. An ideal is the highest version of who you can be. It is your moral and spiritual guide, the image of the person you wish to become. When your daily thoughts and actions reflect that ideal, you begin to transform. Your words grow kinder, your habits stronger, and your decisions wiser. You no longer chase temporary pleasure, you build lasting value. The beauty of life lies in the constant pursuit of that better version of yourself. Dreams and ideals are not meant to stay in the imagination. They are blueprints waiting to be built. A vision becomes powerful only when you act on it. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings your dream closer to reality. Thinking, planning, and believing must lead to doing. When your thoughts and actions align with your vision, life begins to unfold in beautiful ways. Great men and women throughout history were driven by their visions. They saw possibilities others couldn't see and worked quietly to make them real. Their lives remind us that nothing is impossible for the one who believes deeply and acts faithfully. Your vision does not need to be grand in the eyes of others, it only needs to be true to your heart. So, protect your vision and feed it daily with positive thought and effort. Let it guide your mornings and comfort your nights. When your ideals shape your choices, your life becomes a reflection of your highest thoughts. The world changes when ordinary people choose to live by extraordinary visions, and that power begins inside you. Chapter 7: Serenity. True serenity is not the absence of noise, conflict, or struggle, it is the calm that remains within you, no matter what happens outside. It is the quiet strength that allows you to stay centered when life becomes chaotic. Serenity comes when you learn to master your thoughts and emotions instead of being controlled by them. When the mind is peaceful, even a storm feels distant. Every thought you allow to live in your mind affects your inner peace. Angry, fearful, or jealous thoughts stir the waters of your heart, creating restlessness. But when you choose patience, understanding, and gratitude, the storm inside begins to fade. The person who controls his thoughts does not let others control his peace. He becomes steady like a mountain, calm even when winds blow around him. Serenity is not something you find, it is something you create. It is born from awareness and discipline. You begin to notice when your thoughts drift into negativity and gently guide them back to calmness. You remind yourself that not every problem deserves your energy, and not every word needs a reaction. In silence and reflection, your mind becomes your ally instead of your enemy. When you live with serenity, you see life more clearly. You stop rushing, worrying, and overreacting. You start listening more to yourself, to others, to the moment. The world feels softer, and small things begin to bring you joy: a smile, a sunrise, a quiet evening. Peace becomes not just a moment but a way of living. People who live in serenity are not free from challenges, they simply meet them differently. They trust that everything has its time and that even pain carries lessons. This acceptance gives them strength. Their calm presence comforts others, like the stillness of a lake reflecting light even after a storm. Serenity is the highest reward of self-mastery. It is the sign that your mind and heart are in harmony. When you no longer fight the world within you, the world outside loses its power to disturb you. In that quiet space, happiness grows naturally, not from possessions or success, but from peace of mind. That is the true strength of a person who has learned to think rightly. In the end, as a man thinketh reminds us of a timeless truth, our lives are shaped from the inside out. Every thought we hold, every belief we nurture, becomes a seed that grows into our reality. If we wish to change our world, we must first change what we think about every day. True power lies not in luck or circumstance, but in the quiet choices of the mind. When you begin to think with purpose, positivity, and vision, life itself begins to respond differently. Challenges turn into lessons, and failures become steps toward growth. The mind, once your greatest obstacle, becomes your greatest friend. You discover that happiness, success, and peace are not found elsewhere, they are built within you, thought by thought. So as you move forward, guard your mind as you would a precious garden. Plant ideas of hope, discipline, and love, and remove weeds of fear and doubt. With patience and faith, your thoughts will create a life filled with purpose and calm. And remember, everything begins with a single thought. Choose it wisely,